Welcome to the Pod Maat. You're watching or listening to the Maatecast. Run that back. Okay. There it goes. There goes the speakers. Maates,
Been a while.
welcome back to another Maatecast episode. Gosh damn, it has been a while.
It's been a couple months.
Feels good to be back. We're on episode 17. Guys,
I'm sorry.
we're sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Look, no, there is no... How long's it been? 2 months-ish? By the time this comes out, it might be 2 months, or like a month and a half, or a month and a bit.
Yeah. Something like that. Oh, no, it's got to be longer.
No?
There's no way Weatherford was only 2 months ago, right?
No, it was, we did Duffcast after.
That's
And
right.
Another one, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, look, we had plans to keep going, and we still do, but we've just been really busy, haven't we, Millsy?
It's been hectic.
Staying busy. I went to Philippines. We've been changing our schedule so we can film, and we've been trying to stay consistent with filming and, that side of things. Filming.
It's
And
hard.
what else are we doing? Oh, streaming. That's right.
Yeah.
We started streaming as well. So that kind of took a lot of time, and honestly, we just haven't found a lot of time to do podcasts. And if we do have time, we're just absolutely dead. Because, just
The
exhausted.
filming just takes it out of you, especially if you've done like over an hour of filming. Just after that, you just far out. I just want to go to bed. I want to go to bed now.
There it is.
I'm kidding.
No. But we found time today, so we thought, frick it. We've been saying, oh, yeah, we should film a podcast, we should film it for ages now. It's always been like, oh, we'll do it. And then it's like, oh, but then we have to edit it and upload it by Friday.
And we'll do another one at the end of the year, doing like a year in review thing for sure.
At
We
the
will
very
do that.
least, we will do another end of the year one.
Yeah.
We do want to do, I'm just going to say it. We do want to do one with Matthew Allen Ankins.
Yeah,
if
we
that's-
definitely do.
Yeah, and then another
Definitely.
person, we'll see about that. But we got a few people we want to do it with. It's just a matter of finding the time and doing it. But if you are watching or listening right now, thank you very much for joining in. Even though we've been inconsistent, ready for another good episode today. We've got a lot of I've got a lot of deeper questions and thought-provoking things to talk about.
So just skip on ahead.
But first, before we get to there, Millsy, how you been?
Yeah, you know me. Same old. Oh, not same old. I feel like I am a bit different to what I was 3 months ago,
3.
maybe. Yeah, I'd say I am.
What's changed?
I don't know. A lot about my perception and discipline and motivation. I feel like, especially ever since Weatherford, a lot's changed. Personally, a lot of... I've had to ask myself a lot of questions. I've had to kind of realign myself a little bit, which is such a normal thing to say right now. I feel like going into your 20s, it's that's all that it's going to be.
Basically, yeah.
It's just trying to find yourself. And there's this quote that I saw. I think it was yesterday, actually. It was very recently. Gymshark posted it. It was
Nice.
so weird.
Freaking Gymshark.
It was 2021 changed me. It's so weirdly accurate.
Yeah.
2022 broke me. Accurate. 2023 opened my eyes. And then 2024 is I'm coming back. But I was like, man, it hits a nerve there.
That's funny.
But not just that, but other things. Especially with what we're doing. We've had to kind of up the ante a little bit.
Trying to.
The goal's been by the end of this year to be full time. And we're definitely heading in that direction, I would say. I don't have a doubt there.
Yeah.
That's where we're going.
Yeah.
In terms of how much time it's now taking up and where we want to go by the end of next year, especially because I think next year is going to be a huge year for us.
Oh yeah.
We've prayed about it. We've prophesied it. We've talked about it so much. that I think next year will just be something we can't even like begin to think about where we'll be.
Yeah.
Which really excites me.
Our goals are beyond imagination, and we really want to hit that.
But yeah, that's sort of why I feel like I've changed. It's just because I need to get my priorities right. I need to understand what I want to be doing with myself. What's better? Well, most importantly, that's the question that I've been asking more than anything is like, you know, in the position I'm in now, what is best for me? What's going to help me grow so that next year is the year I come back, you know?
Right.
Yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, a lot has kind of changed in that sense. Yeah, what about you?
Nice. Yeah. What has changed? I don't know. I feel like...
Whoa, hey.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that. If you only watch us on Maatecast and you haven't seen us anywhere else, got the fresh cut.
I would argue it is your best cut. It is your best hair. It is just... It's a little long now, actually. It grew, like, weirdly. Like, it's already growing.
It is growing, yeah. And I think because we didn't get the fully...
Yeah, we didn't
roots,
bleach all the way through.
It feels like it's growing really quick because now it's growing a little bit and you can already see so much
of the
brown.
Brown.
But I don't mind it. But yeah, I've had, like, surprisingly a lot of people... Some people don't like it at all. Fair. But, like...
Who said that?
Like, randoms. Oh. I actually went into the... Went to get fuel the other day. And I walk in... I think he was like, I don't know, Indian guy. And he's at the counter. He's like, is that your like natural color? And I was like, no, like bleached it, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh yeah. Yeah, it doesn't suit you. Doesn't suit you at all or something like that. And he was kind of smiling while he said it. But like, he was like, he said it in a nice way. Well, I wouldn't say nice way, but he said it in like a funny way. Like it was jokes, but he's like, yeah, it doesn't suit you. Hey, he was talking about like, cause you're white and then your hair's like, I don't know. It was just, and he basically said it looked really bad. I mean, so
you made his whole day just by being there.
Probably, yeah, just because of how funny it looked. But then I've got other people saying it is.
I think it's great. I think you need to cut it a little bit, sort it out, but
I'm going to redo it, I think.
Yeah, you should. End of the year.
End of December, yeah, probably.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Or in Jan. But yeah. Besides that, similar to you, the motivation and the goal and the work ethic has changed a fair bit. Plus, a lot of other things going on, which we'll talk about one day, I reckon. Making an album is what I'm doing. You're doing it as well.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping to get mine out.
You're like very close.
The end of this year is my goal. That'll just be a fun little thing for all you Maats. But yeah, similar. Finding time to do things, work on what we're doing, work on personal things, and it's been good. And we've been grinding.
Yeah,
we have made it so we don't work on Wednesdays or Saturdays. And even though we've done that, podcast hasn't come out. But that's because we've been grinding.
Because it's been
Wednesdays.
You know, OG Fortnite is out, so
did forget about that.
We
OG Fortnite has been
grinding.
Out. So we have been grinding, working, and a little bit of OG Fortnite. There's a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like you have to.
You got to dabble in it for the old time's sake.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Wednesdays our plan has been, and we've been doing pretty well the last couple of weeks, is to film skits for the whole week pretty much on Wednesday, and then Saturday we're streaming every week. How have you found the streaming so far?
I understand why people are just doing it. I see how easy it can be to, like, for people to enjoy it, to be entertained. So I think that's something that we need to just be constantly thinking about is, like, every week we have people clicking on it thinking, like, oh, it's going to be better than next week, surely.
Last week,
sorry.
Yeah. So
that's I think the main thing is how can we be constantly improving the streams. In all honesty, I have been enjoying them, and I have been liking the response that we've been getting and the community that we have already kind of started to build a little bit.
Yeah. Because that was the biggest part, was streaming's just so relevant at the moment, and it just feels like it's a smart business move to do, or at least like Kai's doing the 24 hours or 3 hour or month stream.
That's all the motivation
we were just like,
that we need.
Yeah, we were just like, what can we do on our level, like, of that? And we're like, frick it.
And you can only go up.
Stream.
Like, the more you do it,
Yeah.
you know, like, there's really no way you can duff it because you just keep growing, and as long as you're staying consistent and you're
We'll
putting
get better
putting
and
effort
better.
into it. Yeah, exactly.
So the goal is to really grow that and stay consistent. We did the first week, we tried to do 12 hours, and that was
what we get to, like 10
and a half, yeah. And we ended up stopping it because that was 12 hours, just too long. I mean,
really long stream.
too long. We die out at around 5. So we've changed it to 8 hours, but we still think that's a lot of time and a good streaming time. And we've still had, there's at least one point in every stream when you're dead and just like, frick, I don't know what to do here. But we do plan on getting better, of course. We want to plan more for those streams and do a lot of fun stuff, pardon me, that can, that will be very entertaining. So yeah, we're keen for that. We've only done 3 so far. But yeah, the community has been good, as you were saying, to build that. And we hope to continue to build that in the future.
Absolutely.
So yeah, streaming. What else we got? We got approached by people to be on a TV show.
There is that, yeah. You could be seeing us live on TV, Channel 10 to be exact, next year. We won't go into specifics. We won't yet. But yeah, there could be something pretty big happening.
Could be something. We did an interview and we haven't heard back. How long's it been?
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
How long has it actually been?
2 weeks.
Yeah, so 2 to 3. They said they'd get back to us within 4 weeks.
2 weeks today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds right.
Sounds about right.
Maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
Wait, no, 2 to 2, yeah.
The deadline's 4.
Yeah, the deadline was 4, although they said even later could.
Yeah.
That.
So yeah, we'll just see how we go.
We'll let you guys know in the next solo potty how that goes.
All right. Talk to me about Philippines. What did you want to... I know you have stuff you want to ask and talk about because obviously it was a pretty impactful trip, as you've mentioned. So let us know. What's the deal?
I will. So I went to Philippines with my dad, for context, to visit like the kids that he sponsors with his business and whatnot, all that. Sponsor kids, basically. And then we also went to a conference that was on. Like a church conference with all of South Asia, blah, blah, blah. And it was good. It was very impactful, and it was very cool seeing the third world country. I haven't talked too much about it with you because I wanted to bring up these questions with you. Yeah. So, well, firstly, you know, you and I obviously want to become famous because we want to impact lives, blah, 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 blah.
Blah,
Blah, blah, blah, relevant. I got a taste of it. Now I have talked to you a little bit.
Yes.
Got a little taste.
Yes. It's a cool feeling.
In the Philippines, they love to like take photos with you. Specifically at this conference, we were, because Dad was preaching, so they hold like people like Dad to a high pedestal in a way, and they're like just very in awe, especially because he's like white and stuff like that. So Dad, the whole conference is gone. It's like 2 days. On the last day, Dad speaks a couple times, and it finishes up, and it finishes on a bang. Everyone's like cheering, like everyone's going crazy. And then it's this small little like a cathedral. I don't know if that's the word, but it's a small thing. And everyone kind of comes down to the front and just starts taking photos with people. It started off with Dad, and I'm standing there like just smiling. It was so fun. Like to watch like all these kids and adults coming up to Dad like, oh, can we get a photo?
Yeah.
Or like being so excited to talk to him. And then they started coming up to me and they're like, can we get a photo? Like, and they're all so like, it was exactly how I imagine being famous.
What it will be like.
It literally, that's what it will be like. Is like, they're just in awe of you, and they were just like, oh, like so. And you say yes to having a photo with them, and it just makes their day. And they're so nervous when they're taking the photo, and it just feels like it feels so good for me or for you, because it's like you're making someone happy.
What's the word? Not humbling, but it's just so uplifting.
Oh yeah, it's like the opposite.
It's
of
so
humbling, really.
uplifting.
Yeah.
Not humbling. I don't know.
It's like it's because you're making them happy by doing something so small. It just makes you feel so good because like you're making someone happy for taking a photo with them and talking to them even. So that was cool. So that experience was awesome, and they love it. Like I can't express enough how much like it felt like we were going in. And I wrote down that night. It was but I started to think of like a whole nother side of it, where I was like, I can see how easily it can get into your head though, and like because you feel like you're the man, you know, like even just that afternoon or like night, like it was maybe an hour of taking photos and talking to people and whatnot. And it was just like afterwards, you feel good because you're making some people, but you also feel like the man. You feel like you're a top G. And
Very proud.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of that like while it's happening, but I'm just afterwards I was thinking about it more and trying to be like, and the thought just came to my mind that I empathize so much with people like Justin Bieber, for example, because he was getting that attention, but like
on another level,
like times a million, and he was like 11, you know, and I was just like, it became so clear to me. I'm like, of course you would, like, your teenage life would be fricked up because the whole time, like, no matter what happens, I can only like imagine if I got that attention when I was so young, because even getting it now, 19 for 1 hour, I felt pretty good.
That was his whole life.
Yeah, that's his whole upbringing. He's gonna feel like the man, and he's gonna make mistakes because he just feels like everyone loves me.
Fame gets to you.
Yeah,
Fame
like,
gets to you.
for real. Like I just got that taste of it. I'm like, holy hell, it's so real. Like I get it. I've experienced almost nothing, but I get like how it can really, frick you up.
It's great that you've picked up on it now. But like, I forgot Kalen?
Yeah.
Ponga, I think he kind of talked about it a little bit in in the podcast he did about like how he hates that he's known as Kalen Ponga, the footy player. He's not known as just Kalen Ponga, kind of thing. And it's like when you're at that level of fame, like people look at you like you're like they're below you.
Yeah.
You know, and that feeling, like, you would just feel like you're on top of the world. No one's better than you. And someone like Justin Bieber, someone like Kai. Kai's only 19 as well.
I don't know
19, 20.
How he's been doing it.
So, fame at a young age, or fame in general, can come with a sacrifice, can come with a lot of consequences. What you've brought up is extremely important. 110%. You've got to not let it get to your head. You have to constantly be.
Yeah, you got to really humble yourself.
You've got to be constantly reminding yourself, like, I'm not it.
And that's why, like, real friends and real family, keeping you humble, I think, is so important. Like, you sticking around with them is so important. Like, I've heard celebrities say that, but I can really see it now. And you had a little bit of a taste of that as well when you were golfing and all those kids came up to you.
So I was, I had a similar experience when I was in China in grade 6. We went to this all girls Chinese school. And like how would I have been in grade 6? Like 12, 13.
That Justin Bieber age.
Just so much attention. Everyone like wanting photos, wanting to just like talk, and like just walking past, they'd be like giggling and stuff. And it's like what the heck? Like, where have I been all my life? It's like crazy over there. And even with the homestead people I was staying with, they were treating me like royalty, like they were giving me aged wines and scotches, and they were giving me like these old, like, I still have them. These old like Chinese like scriptures and stuff like that, like writings and like family heritage, and they were just handing it over to me.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, that, and then I had a similar thing when I was out at Victoria Park at the range, and I had like would have been 10 people just come up to me and like start watching me and asking me like, how do you hit it so good? And I was like, what the heck? Like, mind you, I don't play like that normally. I wish I did
really well.
But like that night I was just on it, you know, I was just hitting them really well. And then, they just came up and they were asking me, and like when I was hitting the driver, because it was going pretty far, it would have been over 275 for a couple of the drives. And they were all like, whoa! And it was just like, wow, like it's a good feeling, but it's like a mind battle. It's like you don't want to feel this way because it is a bit like selfish. You want to try and stay as humbled as possible.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good to be recognized.
It's an interesting one that we'll find the balance too as we go.
We have to.
I think,
to be honest.
Yeah, God's just like preparing us in a way, giving us these situations where we can.
It was cool though.
Yeah.
It was cool to get a taste of what it could be like.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. And we will see where that goes.
Absolutely.
So that happened in Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on now. Sorry?
Was there anything else Philippines you wanted to?
Oh, yeah. Moving on to
Great.
the deeper stuff of Philippines. I guess I'll start it with like, I think I said this to you. There's just something about seeing that third world country living in real life that hits different. Like you see it on videos, like random videos that you might scroll past, and you see it and it's like, wow, yeah. But like instantly we landed, we're in the taxi,
and
the Uber version. Yeah, and you're driving around, you're seeing all these like things on the street, and you stop at a stoplight, and instantly, like, there's nighttime, kids walking up to you, like little like, it's so sad, but it's also cute. Like, I don't know how old they would be, like 7 years old, maybe younger, maybe a little bit older as well. Just like going up to your door or your window, like knocking and like asking for money. And like some of them homeless, we're talking to the guys, some of them just like, that's just that's their hustle because they got to make some money for their family. You know? So it's like, just asking. And that happens all the time over there. Like every time we got in the car, pretty much that happened is you get stopped at a stoplight and then you'll have these kids like asking for money at the window. And they'll wipe your window down with the wipers and put it down. It's like,
it's a whole different world.
Yeah. As soon as you see it, it's just, it just hits a little bit different. So what we did, we visited Compassion, which is where they had all the kids, and we walked through. First thing we did was drive out to this place, and it was like a whole Compassion, like it was like a church, but it was filled with kids like getting schooled by these teachers, and all the parents are there as well, and they all like welcomed us in, and they had food ready, blah blah blah, and we got a tour of it. We got to say hello to all the kids. It was very cool. And then we drove out after that to like two of the kids' homes, and like literally just cubby houses in trees basically, and like 6 or 5 kids living in this like space that's literally like what you're seeing on the podcast is like their literal whole house, probably even less, even less literally.
It's crazy.
Like this space, and it's literally 5 of them living there. All working, kids, mums, and they're happy still, you know, like you know, they're happy, and like you can tell there's some sadness there. Like the mum talked about losing one of her kids to some sort of sickness, I think, or like I think they fell over, hit their head or something, and it's just like they couldn't do anything about it. Like that kid died, and she talks about it, and like you can tell obviously that affects you, and that's sad, but like they're just moving on. Like she's got a 3-4-year-old daughter, or probably like 3-2-year-old daughter that's like in her arms still, and that daughter's laughing away, like making jokes while she's like telling this story. And it's just like, frick, like it just is so different. And you hear about it, but you see it and it's just like, frick me. And then
hits you.
Yeah, we went to this other one, and it was this mum and the kid had cerebral palsy, so that kid can't do anything, like can't move, but it can think and all that, and it's drooling, and the mum's got to literally hold it and take care of it every night, and special bedding procedure, like going to bed procedure and whatnot, and like they're renting, I don't know, it's just so much, and it's like, and they can't fix it, or they can't, like they actually have to, like they can't get money from anywhere, family, nothing.
Yeah,
like they
nothing.
actually have to go out and work. They've got all the kids working, the husband's working all day, the mum still does like sells secondhand clothes and stuff like that while she's taking care of this kid. And it's like, frick, like it just is a whole nother life, and that really was impacted Dad a lot. He was like crying afterwards. Like,
I saw that.
like a lot. So yeah, impactful. Like I would suggest. Are you more
grateful for what you have now?
I knew I would be coming back,
Yeah.
and like obviously I am, and it's just like our problems are nothing to them.
Nothing.
Like they would live to have our problems. I mean, they would love to have our problems.
Yeah.
So it's very humbling in that way. And I would literally suggest everyone, like, I think it's something that you just have to go and see at least once in your life. Like, you just have to. You can't not. So I would suggest that.
Like, everywhere, more than not, I feel like you've got homeless people. You see it. You know it's there. But to see it in that context, like, how you described it, yeah. And for the, like, that'd be like your first time seeing that, right? Like something like that.
Yeah, like third world country.
Yeah. Because China was kind of similar. Not fully to that. Like where, like the people I was staying with, top wealthy, very rich kind of thing, which I was very lucky for. But you go out on the street and it's completely different. Like I actually, I saw this, really like old homeless guy, and he had some sort of skin disease or something, and his whole leg, you could just see, like you could see inside the leg, and it's like he's just on the street and he's doing, you know, like he's asking for money, and there's like he is covered in, like, I actually don't know what it was, but it was like you could tell he was probably gonna die because of how bad it was. And I went home and I was like crying because I was like, people just live like that. Like there are people that live through, you know, terrible stuff like that, and here I am on a top floor. Like, mind you, I was staying in a military camp. Have I told you about that? Yeah. How like I wasn't allowed in. And like I'm staying in this really nice hotel, like a apartment, sorry. The guy I was staying with has literally like he has photos with like presidents, he had photos with a couple Chinese like government officials, like stuff like that. He was very wealthy, very wealthy. But it is just a whole new world, a whole nother level. Especially like where you went. It's crazy.
That was another thing, was like the city. We walked, well, Dad wasn't there, but we walked on the city the last day for like 20 something Ks. It was.
It's truth.
Just walking around the city, looking at everything, and like we walked through some real sketchy, but like it's just the city. But like we didn't go to the tourist places straight away. We were just walking like the city, and it's just fricked up, like whole stretches worth of just like homeless. And, but like it's not even homeless. Like homeless is nothing to what they're freaking dealing with. Like, there's the people. It was just like so many fricked things going on, and people that are just like need so much help,
practically dying. Like just on the street, just dying.
I saw like a mother, newborn baby, like very newborn, and they're just on the street, laying on this dirt, and it was raining too, and so everyone's tucked up, and it was just like the newborn was wrapped up next to her, and she's sleeping like tucked up, like it's just crazy. Kids, people getting water from the from the pipes, from the rain coming down. Like, it was just a lot. Just really got to blow those leaves as soon as we start the podcast, eh? Freaking legendary.
Oh, good man.
No, but yeah, so yeah, very impactful. With that, I started thinking again. I was thinking about some more obscure things. One of them was like saying that you love someone. I wrote down here, it's so easy to take advantage of what we have. When it's gone is only when it hits us. Obviously, we know that. Similar to the Philippines and seeing these people, like if my father passed away, I'll be begging and wishing to let him know how much I like truly love and appreciate him. Like so much. But it's not until he's gone that I'd even want to do that. Yeah, like
exactly.
Like I would, while he's alive, like, oh, he knows I love him, or like I do love him. I tell him every now and then. I get him a card, blah blah blah. But like, if he'd passed away for some reason, I'd be wanting to let him know, like, Dad, I love you so much.
I would argue there is no higher level of guilt.
Yeah.
Than that. It's like, like when they pass away, but 'cause that's what I felt when my granddad passed away. Same thing my dad felt as well. Like,
yeah.
And like to this day, you still feel it. Just the guilt of like, I should have spent more time with him. I should have been more communicative. So yeah, no, that's a big thing as well. Is like just the stuff you take for granted.
Yeah. It's just like something you got to constantly remind yourself to like let people know, especially family, or especially elder family, that you love them and whatnot. Because yeah, you just never know what could happen. And like you'll be wishing you could. Yeah. Like wishing you could.
Yeah.
If you couldn't. But yeah, I think that was all my main thoughts on the Philippines.
Okay.
I thought I had more questions for you, but I can't find them.
I thought you did too.
Yeah. That about does it for the questions. I do have another topic. A couple topics actually. Let me just double check. I haven't missed anything. No, yeah, that's it. This is a thought I was having before the trip. It's not that deep, but I was just wondering if you relate to it. I feel like a lot of teens can relate to this, or young adults. I wrote down here, it's weird how we're at a point in life where we very rarely have time to ourselves.
As like teens, or like
Yeah.
like coming out of school.
Yeah, I don't know what I was writing that in context to, but I think I was just at teens, coming out of school. Like, we very rarely have time to ourselves. Like, we've seen plenty of people who talk about how important it is to meditate and whatnot. Like, you know how it's such a big thing.
I've been seeing a lot of that.
Yeah, you got to take time to yourself. And when I say time to yourself, I don't mean like you not hanging out with family or friends and like you watching a show, or like it's you on your phone. I mean like
sitting and literally like just in your
with your own thoughts. Yeah, like how often do you do that? And how often does anyone do that?
I'm gonna like nowhere near as often as I should, but like that's something I try and do like at night, like before I go to bed, and like when I'm in the shower. It's so good for you. It's so good for you. Like from the very few times I've done it, all I like can recall is just the peace of mind you have, the ability to like kind of assess or like reassess yourself the day, which can lead into like journaling. Yeah. You know, writing stuff down, which I also kind of want to start doing as well.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I feel like that'd be really. It's just good for you. And like, what were you trying to say?
I just how rare it is, like for this day and age.
like to have time to do it.
Like to do that. Like how many kids these days? Like a bit different for kids because it's like you don't really have your own thoughts. People our age aren't doing it.
People our age aren't
doing
it.
But like teenagers and our age people, like how often are we as a collective, like sitting with our thoughts, not on our phones? Like you hear it all the time, but like how often are you actually doing it?
I would argue we're not doing it at all.
And
to be honest,
if you are doing it, like how long are you doing it for? You know, like it's so.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wrote it down because I had that moment the other night, and I was just sitting there thinking about stuff. And I was going to bring it up to you or bring it up on the podcast as if that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Like just like thinking without distractions.
Yeah.
And I was just like thinking about how that was such a big deal.
It's a very good point, and it's something
but
that
it shouldn't be like a big deal.
But it is, because now we're not thinking.
Yeah.
Now all of our logic, all of our thinking comes from what we see on social media and stuff, which is the biggest dilemma right now.
Yeah.
It's
insane.
It's terrible.
It's just like, it really concerns me. And I'm saying this, I'm speaking to myself as well. Like, I don't think I've sat down by myself since I had this thought. But I do it on the daily, but like, not on the daily, like little points where I'm doing it. But I guess I've gotten better. Nonetheless, it's still like a rare thing, and I'm talking to myself. But yeah, we just like sitting down. Like, I think of people in my life, like friends of ours. I'm like, how often do they just sit and not do anything? Like they might be better than me, but yeah, I feel like just in general, it's very uncommon. It's probably something that we should start to talk about more. Yeah.
There's this, I've been doing listening to a lot of podcasts on Stoicism.
I was going to bring that up. That was in my...
And like, because I was very interested in what it's about. And as the main Stoic in time, like from history, Marcus Aurelius, and he has this book that I really, really want to read. It's called Marcus. Is it Marcus? Yeah, Marcus Aurelius Meditations. It's like a highly profound book. Like, you need to read it, because like what he talks about is just going to really help you in the long run. It's basically him every day meditating and journaling, and you can just see his, like, I don't know, like his obvious progression and how he betters himself. But it's the little things that he picks up on, like I felt this certain way, or like I did this, but I was thinking this kind of stuff. And it's like, he talks about that, and those little things manage to like just better him in so many different ways. So yeah, I really want to read that book, and I want to keep learning about it. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the Stoicism stuff, because I had like a little phase, I don't know when, maybe last year, where I was getting into it as well. I watched a video on a guy who got a bunch of Stoicism tattoos, I'm pretty sure. And they were just like all reminders to him, like Stoicism reminders and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it really interested me. And then I was like, frick, I want to get some of these tattoos, because like they're such good things to remember.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And they're still on my like tattoo notes, like if I wanted to get them. But yeah, I was really interested in it. And then, I don't know, I kind of did fall off. Like it was just there. I didn't really do much more research at a certain point. I can't remember if I brought it up to someone, maybe like Dad, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, I wanted to ask you, what else you been learning about it?
Well, like, yeah, from what I've learned and listened to, it's a reminder that I think in today's age, I think Stoicism is more important than it's ever been. I think what it basically is it's harmonizing all the areas of your life. It's working on it's not how you, it's how you react to things when things happen, and it's how you can better yourself, better your emotions. And like, I think especially in today's society, when like we're so caught up in what's happening with the internet, the Matrix, stuff like that. Yeah. It's like, I think stuff like that, I think we need to be referring back to like the book and like the teachings of Stoicism, and like what it has to offer, and how it does benefit you. Because from what I'm seeing, it is mainly just meditation and like being like one with yourself, one with your thoughts, understanding yourself on a higher level. Which, as we said, I don't think 99% of our age are doing.
Yeah. That's very important.
And although you see, all over TikTok now, everywhere, everyone's going to the gym, everyone's eating well, everyone's reading, everyone's trying to better themselves.
Yeah.
But is that to better themselves, or is that just to look the part?
And like,
don't know.
Yeah, like, and maybe we're doing that, but are we like taking time to ourselves? And also, you could argue that it could just be your algorithm, because that's what you do, or what you want to do. You know, like, other people might not even see any of that. Like, you just, who knows how real it is. I think it was starting to come back to me there of this Stoicism, and when I was doing research and stuff. I think I wasn't sure of how much of like a religion it was. Like, was it a religion?
No,
I don't think it was.
No, it's more like a, it's
more like principles and stuff.
Yeah,
I think
it's like it's discipline.
Yeah.
It's just discipline.
I don't think it's
because I thought the same thing. I was like, I'm getting into some like religion crap.
Yeah.
But no, it's more of a way of improving yourself and becoming more disciplined.
Yeah. I think I came to the conclusion of like some conflict between delving.
God is mentioned in it too.
Yeah,
I think he is in there somewhere.
I remember doing a lot of research on this. I can't remember fully, but I'm pretty sure the guys that, like the, what do you call them?
Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah, and like guys like him, they believed in different gods or something like that.
Sorry, it's philosophy.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah, and I think they believed in different gods or something like that. So I was like, oh, yeah, okay. And then I think I just got to a point where it was like, conflict of what they're saying is true and like very good.
Well, Marcus was Rome, and this was Roman times, and then it would have been that they would have believed. What was their deity?
Don't ask me.
Yeah,
couldn't tell you. I think I was just coming to the conflict though of like,
is it against?
Not against, but like, is it all this stuff is
not in line?
Kinda.
Yeah.
It was more so like, this stuff is in the Bible, I guess you could say. Like, this stuff is like what they're saying, aligns with stuff in the Bible. I think I was just kind of like, well, I should be studying the Bible and not studying Stoicism.
Yeah.
Like something this, like, all true or a lot true and helpful.
A lot of it is,
But I should just be studying the Bible instead. I think that was the conflict I had. But I would be interested in doing more, because that was also like tattoos of it. I was like, frick yeah, I want to get these. Like, I was like, I need these tattoos. They're so sick.
What are they?
I can't remember, but it was just like ones that would remind him.
Is it quotes or is it like?
Nah, like cool tattoos of stuff like, and then it reminds you of like the quotes and whatnot. So or like it might be the quote in like
like hieroglyphics or something.
Yeah, or like just like some sort of. I really forgot. It's been a while, but it was a video. I'll show you after. But then I was like, frick. I don't even know what this stuff is. And I was like, I'm diving so deep into it. I want like tattoos of it.
You get like Roman numerals or something of like a quote.
Yeah, I was like, I should. That's why I did religion research and stuff like that. I was like, honestly, I should just. Well, I should get Bible scriptures before I get Stoicism freaking stuff on me. Like, I think stuff like that, Bible related stuff and Stoicism.
It's not a religion. It's just it's philosophy. Because Marcus was a philosopher, and but I will definitely get my hands on that book and read that, and I do want to dive more into it, and then the whole Bible thing that kind of. I guess that's why I don't read the Bible, is because I feel like it's a religion. And not that I'm against religion, but it's more, I just don't know what I'm getting into. Because from my understanding, it's a faith rather than a religion. So it's like, do I really want to be following what this thing tells me if I'm not ready to like commit to a religion, or if I don't know if I want to commit to the religion? Because I do believe in God, but religion, I don't know. It's like has a bad ring to it almost.
It does. And I think the whole faith over religion is true, but I think it's like gone not too far. Like it's good for some people, it's different. But like religion should still be, it has like a negative context, but it is like, it is what it is. Like Christianity is religion.
Yeah.
Yes, it's relationship with God and it's faith, but that is like a like it's different to other religions. We say that's the whole reason we say it, but you shouldn't take away the religion part, because I feel like what you said there with faith, having faith, but I don't know if it's a religion. But if you have faith in regards to the Bible, if you have faith, like, don't you want to read the Bible? Because like that, well, I just feel like it correlates directly.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like I have faith, so I do want to read the Bible, but it's just that kind of like negative connotation of if I read it, if I have a faith, am I a part of the religion? Do I have to abide by what the Bible tells me? Kind of side to it, which I don't like fully think is right. Like I don't think that's the whole point of religion, is just to follow these rules and then. But I think that's what it's surrounded in, is the whole like the Bible is just a rule book kind of thing. Obviously, you have to love your neighbor, you can't have sex before marriage, you can't swear, you can't sin, blah blah blah. And then it's confusing because then it's like, well, but we're forgiven, so I should just do it. Why should I follow? But I guess that's the same as Stoicism, is it's how to better your life.
Yeah.
It's there so you can live a better life and better yourself. But yeah, it's the religion side that's like that kind of puts me off it more than anything. It's just the if I read it, then I'm more than not going to want to abide by it.
Do you just feel like there's too much guilt if you don't abide by it? Because it's like, it's a religion.
Yeah, I mean, there's.
Because what I'm hearing is it's like the same as following Stoicism rules, but if you don't go through with following Stoicism rules,
there's a level of guilt, I guess.
No, but I feel like for Stoicism, it's like you might not do one of the rules, be like, oh damn,
Well, yeah,
but it's like doesn't have a religious context behind it, or like God's not behind that.
Not
so
a rule book. Whereas the Bible has that connotation of it's a rule book. I mean, it literally does tell you like what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
But it is there for you to live a better life.
Yeah.
And to be happier.
But you don't want to. But you don't want to do it. Or
because if I don't do it, the guilt would be. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good summary of it all. I mean, there's other religions in the world that are the exact same. I don't really know them, but I know that's what you probably feel like, is if you don't live by this religion, then you're a terrible person, you've sinned, blah blah blah, all that, which I had it then. Yeah, so it's like, well, I don't want to commit to a religion then if I feel like maybe I do want to do something, maybe I don't see it as a sin, but it tells me in the Bible if I do it,
But if it said that same thing in like the Stoicism, if like the guy said not to do that because it's better, would you see it differently, or would you be like, nah, I still think it's fine? Or would you be like, oh, if he's saying it, then I guess I see.
Yeah, I'd probably still think it's like what I'm thinking is fine, because then that's I shouldn't be like, well, the Bible's a rule book, but Stoicism says blah, 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 kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I know what you think, but like, I'm saying realistically, would you think?
Oh,
would you be more inclined if Stoicism said not to do something?
Yeah,
you'd be like,
because it's philosophy. It's not it's not rules. It's not you abide by this. It's it kind of is, because it tries to teach you about discipline and about like mastering your mind and your body and stuff like that. So certain things can come into context there with doing these certain things, certain ways and whatnot. So yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot of similarities in both.
Mm-hmm.
And with the guilt stuff that you were talking about, I think that's what Miss Mac was talking about when we talked to her, I think. When she said, like, we were talking about Rhett and Link. And I think it's obviously it's like not something you can just take away. But if you feel guilt for doing those things, like you're not following, or I forgot what she said, but like that's not what, like we shouldn't be feeling guilty for when we do stuff that the Bible says not to do. Because it says that we're going to make those mistakes. Exactly. But the whole thing is that we're forgiven.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean that you can just like
get away with it.
Do stuff and then ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
Because when you're with God, like it's your heart that
would just be a false religion
meant to change. Yeah. It's your heart that changes, and then with your heart changing, you want to do stuff. Oh, I'm getting cold. Cancel that. You want to do stuff that the Bible says, because that's where you feel like what the Bible says is the right thing to do. And it is kind of like a rule book.
Music is very fitting.
Yeah, it is kind of like a rule book. But it's probably more, or as you should think of it, more of like a philosophy.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is too, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's a book, a historical book written by historical people. I wish I knew the right words. But
it's, I mean,
life principles and how to live life.
I do agree with that. Was there anything more we want to add on that? I think
it'd be good to talk to some people about that Stoicism.
I definitely want to learn more about it and kind of. I don't know. I just want to. Who's calling you?
I don't know.
Yeah, and like, even just studying philosophy, I'd be interested in. Yeah. Figuring out more about history and history's teachings, because it seems to be like the generation we're in now, like we're not really doing anything new. Like we're not really like how we're bettering ourselves is stuff that we've learned from the past. Like there's nothing new happening out there right now that we're like, we should definitely be there definitely is. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, right now I feel like I'm more interested in what history has to teach us rather than right now. Right. I think. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's definitely a smart way to live, I feel. Because we can learn a lot from.
Well, just from the podcast stuff, I've learned a whole bunch of stuff, and it's like I wouldn't even think to do that, but I might start doing it because it's pretty good for you.
Yeah. But, well, that is all we had, I think.
And we can end it on the hour mark. All right.
I think my mic stopped 54 minutes.
Oh, that's it. It's okay. God, we cannot go. We cannot go one potty without a potty. Anyway, was that all? You reckon?
Yeah, I think
Leave
that's
it there.
I think that's a good, solid podcast.
All right,
guys. Thank you so much for joining us on episode 17. Episode 17. The Maatecast is not dead. The Maatecast lives on, and we will continue to do it as we go. We just might
bear with us.
We might
please.
I think we'll turn it into more of a like. When we get free time.
Yeah, okay. It'd be like a fortnightly
every
thing.
3 weeks. Yeah. No, like we'll do it whenever we can / like have something to talk about / have a guest we really want to
Just
get
give
on.
it a little bit of time, and then all you'll be getting is podcasts, pretty much. Not all you'll be getting.
You'll be
but like-
getting everything and podcasts.
and podcasts
Because
yeah.
the grind. Yeah. We hope you guys enjoyed listening to this conversation. We hope you learned something, and keep an eye on us on the socials. Please join our stream. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely.
75 followers. Miller does the same thing I've done.
We'll see how we go.
And that's a 100% happening. And then, check out our skits, posting daily.
We'll be seeing you.
See you in the next episode of the Maatecast. Love yous.
Kill the stream.
Kill the stream.